Hello, ladies and gentlemen and ladies, and welcome to the 296,796,000th episode of the Dr. Bill Show. I thank you all for coming out to join us here today in Sunnyside, Long Beach. And today we're going to be having 4 guests on the show, and all of them exhibit one thing in common: selfishness. Today I'll be examining how that trait seems to corrupt them and those around them. We really hope that you stick till the end so that you can witness all of the jaw-dropping and heart-jerking moments of today. Alright, let's roll. Let's hop right into things, shall we? First, let's welcome Kathy Ames, a woman of power and apparently greed and selfishness. I've heard much information that I'd like to begin discussing right away, so everyone, please welcome Kathy.
Hello everyone.
Now, Kathy, I've heard rumors about you hurting your family and husband. I've also heard that you ruined the lives of many young women with your business. Can you explain why'd you do it?
Do what?
You don't think you've done anything wrong?
No.
Well, I'd rather not waste any time today, and it seems like your mind won't change with just my words. So please allow me to bring out some people who might object to your feelings. Everyone, please welcome Faye, Kathy's old boss. Faye claims to have died by the hand of Kathy, even though she was a motherly figure for her. Faye, please come out.
Kathy, dear, I thought you loved me, but you murdered me.
Faye, I had to kill you. I deserved the brothel. You were just a pawn. Do you really think I saw you as my own mother? If I needed one, I wouldn't have killed my own. I didn't actually love you.
Kathy, dear, I truly did see you as my daughter.
No,
Ladies, please calm down. Now, Kathy, I think you must admit that you were in the wrong. You can't continue to be so stubborn. Look at Faye, dead and sad.
Kathy, what you said really hurted. You hurt me, my business, the girls. What else do you plan on corrupting in order to fulfill your selfish needs?
I do not corrupt. I simply make things better.
And how do you think you're doing that?
I'm getting rid of everything and everyone in my way. Do you think it's fair that everyone is happy except for me? Do you see my life as a show for everyone else? I deserve to be selfish after everything I've been through. What has being kind ever done for a person?
How would you know? You've never been kind. You were born a monster.
Security!
Everyone, I'm so sorry that you had to witness that. Please let me welcome Kathy's biological son, Caleb Trask. Caleb, please come on out. And tell us why you're here today.
Well, you can call me Cal. Anyways, Kathy's my mom. Well, actually, let me correct myself. Kathy is my birth giver. But let me make it clear that I'm nothing like her. She ruined my family. She's why my father became a zombie, and she's the reason why my brother is dead. She's the reason why I was so lost for so many years. After I found out that she wasn't actually dead, I was suddenly walking on a blurred line between good and evil.
What has she done to you and your family?
Well, quite frankly, she hasn't done anything besides leave enough pain for the whole Salinas Valley to drown in. There's not 1 ounce of goodness within her. All that is present is selfishness and hate. She's worse than any monster you may dream up when you're a kid. The monster underneath my bed when I was a mere child was her. I just didn't know it back then.
I'm so sorry to hear that, Cal. After hearing yours and Faye's stories and seeing how she really interacts with people, I think it's safe to say that she is not okay. I can see how selfish she is, and how she only cares about advancing herself. Now, you must have so much pent-up anger about this, and you probably want to hurt her, but I'm going to advise you not to, okay? Because we are on national television. But, Cal, meet me after the recording. I know a woman who can get your hands on some arsenic.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here today. I know it must be hard to relive those memories. Please welcome our next guest, Aylmer. Many seem to characterize him as a romantic, but after further investigation, we've come to the realization that he's pretty dark. Now, he's here today because of his inability to accept flaws in nature. His drive for perfectionism even caused the death of his own wife. Please welcome Aylmer.
Hello. Hi. Well, quite frankly, I don't think I was doing anything wrong. I was just, trying to perfect the nature. Georgiana was my love. I just wanted to help her. She appreciated what I was doing. She was okay with it. All of these psychologists are trying to fix problems that aren't even apparent.
Okay, well, that is quite debatable. Do you really think that you are in the right, even though you killed her? Do you see her as your wife, or just a science experiment?
Let me tell you, Mr. Bell, she was like a flower. I just wanted to make sure she wouldn't wilt or yellow at the edges or die. But alas, things never really work out the way you want them to. What happened was merely a mistake caused by a mismeasurement in Google juice.
How do you have the foundation to say that, though? You do realize that you're only an alchemist, right? You are not some all-knowing god. You have the most uncredible profession, and your acts were all selfish, and they caused the death of your wife. If that fact can't wake you up from your manufactured reality, I'm not sure anything can.
How dare you? I am so smart, so loved, so renowned. How dare you disrespect me like that? I cannot take this slander. Her natural beauty wasn't enough. I was just trying to improve it, to make her into a goddess, but alas, science failed me.
You ought to have your alchemy license stripped away.
Not a chance, sir. I'm working on another experiment on my new wife. This time it will not fail, and she will be beautiful. I have so much planned out. My studies will not fail me. I am very confident in my abilities. Haven't you ever read my books?
Well, quite frankly, I do not want to read the work of someone who works on things that don't help humanity, that hurts others, that corrupt. Your projects, they have not perfected anything. They have not created a better world for us to inhabit.
Blasphemy, this is blasphemy. I cannot believe that you would say things about me. Me, I am a god. I have only worked to create a better world. It is people like you who create chaos, torture, and violence.
Let me cut you off right there. Are you not hearing yourself? How do you have the audacity to compare yourself to God? How do you have the courage to sit up here all high and mighty after basically admitting that you've murdered your wife? How do you feel? How do you think that this audience feels? And no, they do not respect you. They do not side with you. Your selfishness is the only thing that drives you to do these horrible, selfish things. You are alone. Come to terms with the truth.
Imbeciles rule this planet. You'll all see. My so-called selfishness is a figment of your imagination.
Okay, let's bring out a witness of the scene of that night. Everyone, this is Aminadab, Elmer's former servant. Now, can you recall that night, Aminadab?
Yes. Although I am just a servant, I helped him by bringing in supplies and mixtures and cleaning the house while he operated on his wife. I couldn't speak out, but I was appalled at his actions. He drugged her. I was even more spooked when I realized he was genuinely serious and so keen on destroying his wife, who, by the way, only agreed because she felt bad for Elmer's failed experiments, because he couldn't look at a woman with a red spot. What an absolute god.
Aminadab, your insolent brain cannot contain the capacity to understand. She would have been perfect, just perfect.
I knew Georgiana. I saw her every day since I worked for you. She was beautiful. How could you not see that? She was already perfect. So perfect. But your own stupid brain couldn't realize that. I hate you for ruining her. I hate you for killing her. You corrupted someone who didn't even need any work. She was the closest to a personified perfection.
Okay, guys, okay. Well, there's no point in arguing over something that has already happened. I see that Aylmer won't and probably will never change his mind or his practices. And Aminadab, I thank you very much for coming out here today. I know it must be terribly hard to relive all of those memories. And as for you, Aylmer, I strongly do recommend a therapist. Your selfishness is not an asset to this world, but I do believe that your skills may be able to be beneficial to the world as long as you put them towards a good, practical, and non-lethal use. I would also really appreciate it if you go enroll into a college or university, because I want you to learn about real science and not just alchemy. I do thank both of you so much for being here today, and I hope that tensions were relieved and that things are better now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. For me. Not really you.
Everybody, please give a warm welcome to Mr. Roger Chillingworth. Back in his hometown, he's a wealthy businessman, but now many people are starting to believe that he should be the one bearing the scarlet letter. He's a bloodsucker in the eyes of many, a leech perhaps. Everyone, this is Mr. Roger Chillingworth.
Hello, everybody. I do not fully understand why I'm here today, but I'm here to debunk any allegations.
What allegations are there to debunk?
Well, people seem to believe that I had to do something with someone's death.
Interesting. And also, what's that on your chest?
Oh, the S? It stands for superb. Anyway, I am a man of honor. I like to believe I do a lot for the community.
Here I read that you've been terrorizing a man named Dimsdale. What do you have to say about that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, really now? Then why does it say that you've constantly been following the Reverend around?
Well, I was just worried for my friend. You never know what will happen in 17th century romantic Puritan Massachusetts, am I right?
Then is it true that you were jealous that Miss Hester Prynne loved the Reverend more than you because he was more attractive?
Well,
I'm just reading the notes here. Did I strike a nerve? I don't want to offend, but we like to include our audience in the show, and well, a survey of the women in the audience today increasingly showed results that you aren't as handsome as the average man. How does that make you feel?
well, I can't believe you would accuse me of such obscene, outrageous things. I mean, does it look like I care what the audience thinks? I only care about myself. But I mean, obviously the audience is as dumb as they look.
That is quite a selfish and contradicting statement to make, Chillingworth. You yourself seem to be quite a contradiction.
Well, pardon me,
Do you realize that this type of behavior has the ability to corrupt those around you? Just look at Dimsdale.
Well, obviously I can. He's dead.
And please welcome our next guest, Mr. Arthur Dimsdale.
Hey, Dr. Bill. Thank you for having me on your show today. I really appreciate this opportunity to keep it 100 and to really speak my truth.
Yes, of course, of course.
Arthur, how are you?
Don't play with me, Chillingsworth. Heaven serves me well ever since I repented, and I know all about you and your leeching. But alas, you'll never know anything about heaven when you pass. You are too evil to ever be accepted on the bright side.
How dare you say that to me? I've done nothing but to try and help you.
Help me? Oh yes, it was a great help, and you made me feel so self-conscious with your mind games. Your insecurities boost your selfishness, and you have to fill your rage by harming someone else. Quite masochistic, don't you think?
I do not agree with that statement at all. I am not selfish. I do not harm others. You're crazy. You just don't know what you're saying.
You drive me insane. Even after I passed, you were a monster, an animal. You made me experience the worst things I've ever felt, and it almost made me a monster. Carl Jung would say you exhibit it 24/7.
Well, at least I'm not a pushover.
Okay, guys, calm down. I think we all need to take a step back. From what I've gathered, Dimsdale, you seem very disdainful towards Chillingworth because of his selfishness and how he treated you so animalistically. And Chillingworth, you seem to be in denial of ever causing trouble. Now, as you guys know, my job is to not be biased, but with respect to the information that was given to me today, I have come to the consensus that you need to get off of your high horse and come back to reality.
What? How dare you? I meant to do you a favor by coming onto the show, but obviously you do not appreciate my presence. I cannot take this. Good day to you.
Well, everybody, as you can see, selfishness has corrupted this man. He has so much potential to be a good person, but alas. Thank you, Mr. Dimsdale,
Of course.
for coming and having to relive all of your nightmares. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I wish you happiness and peace.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Alright, everybody, I know today's show has been filled with lots of drama and problems, but to end it off, I'd like to welcome to the stage Miss Emily Gerson. She had to travel a long way to get here, so I'd really appreciate if you give her a warm welcome. Now, she's here today because we've heard some odd tales about her psychology ever since her husband passed.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Dr. Bill. Thank you for having me today. It's truly an honor.
Alright, Miss Emily, let's start off by talking about your town. I've gotten several reports about complaints made against you. They seem to involve things like a bad smell. Would you care to elaborate?
Oh, Dr. Phil, I can explain all of that. I would like to preface this by saying that many of the townspeople hate me for absolutely no reason. I've done nothing but stay out of their way, yet they regard me with so much hatred, it's really disheartening. But anyways, that's besides the point. Regarding that smell, it's the smell of my deceased husband.
Your deceased husband?
Why, yes it is. He passed away a while ago, but I loved him so much, and I couldn't bear to leave him, so I kept him in my room. Nothing could ever truly replace his spot in my heart.
But you must admit that doing something like that is quite selfish and out of the ordinary. Don't you think about how his family would have wanted him to have a proper burial? I don't know many women who could tell the same story.
Why, yes, of course, in normal circumstances, but I feel that my love transcends beyond societal standards of what is ordinary and what isn't. As long as he's with me, I'm happy.
Now, speaking of societal standards, did you realize how by keeping his body, you permeated the town with a strong, rotten stench?
Well, of course, that was not part of my intention, but he had to stay with me. I couldn't lose what I had with him when he was alive.
I'm sorry to break it to you, but sometimes you just have to let some things die. You need to leave some things in the past. It's not only affecting the people around you, but also affecting you, mentally and physically.
Oh, Mr. Bill, that's where you're wrong. It is making me a better person. I really don't mind the public unless they bug me, so why should they be concerned of what I do? I'd rather they just leave me alone with my husband in peace.
Emily, how can you say that? You're corrupting the peace of everybody around you. Your fellow neighbors do not dislike you for nothing. I'm sure things would be different if you just changed your ways.
Oh, Dr. Bill, I really don't mind. Not at all.
You might not, but they do. I mean, you need to think about that, especially because they haven't kicked you out yet and don't even force you to pay your taxes. Can't you see how you're taking advantage of them?
Well, I'm trying to be happy. After the passing of my husband, it's been really hard for me to move on and keep a smile on my face. If I'm being totally honest, I really receive a lot of help from my servant Toby. He keeps me afloat sometimes.
Well, let's hear the story from Toby's perspective.
Well, hello, Dr. Bill. Let's just start off my story. I do really appreciate Miss Emily for giving me this job, but because of that, it's why I feel like I need to speak my truth right now. Well, you see, if I'm being completely honest, knowing that Mr. Grierson's dead body was just upstairs was very uncomfortable at times. I did not let that get to me because I truly believe Miss Emily, needed me there. But honestly, I felt really sorry for her because she seemed to be so alone. If I left, I would have been so guilty if she were to pass away. If I left, who would help her out?
Thank you for sharing your perspective, Toby.
Dr. Bill, I really do hope the best for Miss Emily. I think that she needs to get some help. That is a statement that truly does come from my heart.
Oh my stars, I can't believe you would say something like that after all I've done to help you. This is outrageous, Toby. You know nothing of what I've experienced and have done to get here. I can't believe you would put me in such a situation. You realize this isn't about you, right?
Well, I do know that you were so maniacal as you poisoned him with cyanide to make him forever stay with you. And Miss Emily, you're being so self-absorbed. You think this whole situation is just about you, but really, you're just a nuance to the whole community with your actions.
Did you really murder him?
It's Mrs. to you, Dr. Bill. And, well, yes, I did poison him. I have no shame in admitting that. I had to keep him with me. He is mine. He'll never leave me now.
But, Miss Emily, according to the records, he just wanted to leave. What you did was not okay, no matter what your justification is. I truly never had a guest on the show that is as destructive as you, Miss Emily. Your admittance to the murder puts you in an extremely compromising situation. I hope you realize there's an open door for you to go to prison now. Where is the humanity?
Oh, Dr. Bill, you think that you've trapped me now and that I feel guilty, but let me make it clear that I don't. And you ask where the humanity is, but look at yourself. I'm just a lonely woman who lives with the absence of her father and her husband. I'm a poor, frail old woman who nobody loves. I thought you would understand and I thought you would help me. But no. You're all trying to ruin me and all that I've worked for. You think you've won. Well, think again. I can do to you, Dr. Bill, what I did to my husband.
Whoa!
Security!
Whoa! Get out of here, Miss Emily, please. It's for your own good.
Well, I guess that happened. Toby, I really do agree with you that she needs help. Thank you for coming on to our show.
No problem, Dr. Bill.
Well, everybody, thank you for coming to our show today. As you can see, our guests were definitely special, but they all had selfishness in common. And that selfishness has the power to corrupt themselves, their families, those around them. I did not expect for there to be so much action in today's episode, but I really hope that you all enjoyed watching and that you had a good time attempting to understand these people. It is very difficult to satisfy your desires by acting like a person who you completely aren't. So although those people are corrupt and destructive, I see that their actions are done in order to relieve the weight on their hearts. Although that doesn't mean I agree with their actions. Anyways, thanks for coming out today, folks. Have a good one.
Alright guys, that's a wrap. Cut!